Far is the interim government with the reforms that it promised to the people? I mean, how much has changed since Hasina left?
Well, yeah, I mean, the interim government, one of its top priorities has been reforms. It's pledged to essentially rebuild the country because it argues that Sheikh Hasina and her government really hollowed out the country because institutions had become so politicized and so corrupt. And so there's a need to engage in large-scale reform. So there have been a number of reform commissions that have been formed in areas ranging from banks to the Constitution. But I will say that for many in Bangladesh, there's concern that even though there's been a lot of talk about the need to reform and you have these committees that are getting together and meeting, there's not a lot of clarity as to how far along these reforms have come. Not very clear what the ultimate goals are with these reforms, if there's any clear time frames at play. And I think at the end of the day, the more this government is in power, and it is 6 months this week, I think there's concern among many in the public that this is a government at the end of the day that does not have a formal mandate from the people. It's not an elected government. It's a government that took over after Hasina was ousted. And for sure, much of the country welcomed the interim government and continues to support it. But, the more you have these reforms take place without any clear indication as to where they're going, I think that there's a tendency to make a lot of people a bit impatient and concerned and wanting to have a better sense as to where things are going. But things have changed in a really big way. The country is much happier. It's much freer compared to how things were when Hasina was in power, particularly during her last few years. And I was actually in Bangladesh last week. I experienced this firsthand, just a lot more happiness and optimism, particularly from the young people. But with that said, there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of complexity. As I said before, this is a government that's pledged to do a lot, but it doesn't have a formal mandate from the people. And it also does not have much experience governing. Even the head of the interim government, the Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, he's an economist, he's an academic. You don't have people in this government with experience with governing, and I think that's been a constraint too.
Michael Krugman, director of the South Asia Institute at the Wilson Center. Mr. Krugman, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.